wanted to put a face to my voice, and then after the meeting, you can, I'll turn back my video and then we can have questions. So I want this to be a very interactive session during the time of my presentation. If you have any questions, so that it doesn't leave you, you can drop it in the chat box, and when I'm done, I will pick it up and answer every question. Thank you again, everyone, and I hope you enjoy your time. So just confirm if you can see my screen. Let me
No,
know.
I can't. It's blank.
Okay, just give it a bit more time. Apologies, guys. I don't know why my screen is not coming up. Dami, are you able to share your screen?
Okay, yes, I am.
Okay, please help me.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Can you put it in slideshow, please? I don't know if you're able to also give me access to co-presenter. Can you give me access to co-presenter?
Let me try. I don't think I can do that from my end.
Okay,
Yeah.
not to worry. I'll just speak through it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Again, thank you everyone for your patience. Thank you for having me. So today we're going to be talking about something that every professional has, but very few optimize, and that's LinkedIn. So it's a popular misconception that LinkedIn is for only 9 to 5 workers. Well, that's wrong. LinkedIn can be for freelancers, it can be for creatives, it can be for anybody who just has a skill. If you're willing to push yourself out, if you have a profession where you want to earn money from, LinkedIn is the place for you. It serves as a, digital cloud for your achievements and such. So many people think that LinkedIn is an online CV, but it is not, right? It's your professional brand, it's your digital reputation, and often it's your first introduction before anybody meets you. By the end of this session, I hope that you'll be able to make LinkedIn work for you. And instead of just simply signing up to the app because that's what everybody does, I hope that you're able to utilize it in the way that it is made for. So for the sake of this presentation, we're going to be leveraging or speaking on three different pillars. I call them the content pillars, the three major pillars that guide your engagement and how you use the app. So we have the visual impression, we have the search engine optimized framework, and we have target engagement. Next slide, please. Next slide. So life before LinkedIn. Before LinkedIn, it was chaotic. There were so many issues, so many issues people had, finding jobs, looking for job, changing jobs. And I'll just list and speak briefly on a couple. So personal network was everything. You know how there's this running joke that that uncle or that auntie that told me that when I finish my NYC I should send my CV, but they didn't do anything to me, or they didn't do anything for me. It's no coincidence, and it's not just an ordinary joke, because back then your finding a job was based on personal network. So your auntie or your uncle has to know somebody who is looking for somebody, a secretary, and people used to because networking was so limited, people used to start from very basic, grassroots professions before they now scale up and actually, you know, specialize in something. So people would just take any job that was available to them because, okay, my auntie knew somebody that just, brought me to this job. So resumes were a physical document. So you know how you can just sit down in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your room, and send your resume to 50 people if you can. It was not so. You would have to go to a physical cyber cafe, have them type up your, skills, what you can do. And but that's where you see people put like things like ability to learn, ability to listen, and then people would just sit down. You'd now print, you'd print different copies of the resume. You print like 15 copies, and you'd physically take them to all the companies around you, all the companies that you were also interested in to look for a job. Also, reputation was spread by word of mouth, right? You had to know it was referral. It was a referral program. To get a job, you had to know somebody that knows somebody, and this is even outside of your personal network. That's your uncles and your auntie. Recruitment was very expensive as well. People had to, people had to do newspapers. People had to post job openings on newspapers. Some people did TV ads, some people did radio ads, and the popular one I know that everybody must have seen and is still a thing till date is where you see posters, we're looking for an assistant, we're looking for a plumber, we're looking for, you still see those petty posters around, petty jobs, because obviously these people maybe don't know how to utilize LinkedIn yet, or they don't believe in it. Thought leadership was very limited, except you wrote a book or you were invited to speak at a conference. People didn't really know you, right? People really don't know your expertise. So also career changes were difficult. You know how there's a reason why our parents, our older siblings, and aunties and uncles, stayed at their jobs for 10, 15, 20 years. That's just because there were not there were not many available jobs for them to move from. You don't see them, how you can go on LinkedIn now and then you see like different openings. They didn't have that they didn't have that available for them, so they would rather just stay at one job and do their best and give their best to it. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so LinkedIn introduced greater visibility. You could break through the noise and become a recognized authority in your industry if you use it well. It introduced an ease of networking, so you could connect with leaders and peers instantly, bypassing traditional gatekeepers. It opened up, professionals to opportunities. You unlock a global marketplace for roles, clients, and career-defining projects. It also amplified brand control, personal brand control. You can own your narrative and build a reputation that precedes you in every room via your LinkedIn. Next slide, please. So I see that a couple of people just joined. I want to reiterate that I had mentioned that if any questions came to you, if you have any questions, you can just drop them in the chat and then I'll pick it up after I'm done with my presentation so that you don't forget. So an optimized LinkedIn will answer what you do, what you're good at, the results that you have delivered, and the roles that you're actively seeking. So what you do, it will define an optimized LinkedIn has to define your expertise, right? If you don't have expertise, if you're just like if you're fresh out of university, you should define what your aspirations, what you want to do, what your skills are, right? It will also highlight your competency. If you can write, if you can do basic design, if you can do social media management, if you know how to manage a community, something that you have done in school, just skills that are necessary in your day-to-day or in your professional life, right? An optimized LinkedIn is supposed to answer this. The results that you've delivered is also supposed to answer tangible impact. So it's not just to say that, oh, I did this, right? You have to put a number to it. You have to put results. What did that move or activity that you did, what did he achieve? And also, if you're looking for a job, it also mentions and is supposed to show what kind of opportunities you're looking forward to. Next slide, please. Okay, so like I had earlier mentioned, there are 3 tiers to optimization. That's the visual, impression, the search engine optimized framework, and the target engagement. So I believe that I think that the only foreign word here is SEO. I believe that everybody knows, what SEO is, but for the benefit of doubt, SEO is basically words that you put together that, pop up in when you search anywhere. If you use the right words, what's prompts, what prompts, just basically using strategic words, keywords that will prompt an action or prompt, what you expect when you look up stuff on online or anywhere, especially on Google. Next slide, please. So, for visual impression, right? You must never be caught slacking, right? There are three things to, fix to just present yourself as a star professional. What I would advise is that everybody, invests in a business shoot for your profile. And I'll say why. I say why because, visual impression is everything. We live in a very, in a very visual world, a very visual world. People, when you step into a room, people first look at how you carry yourself, what you're wearing, before they hear anything that comes out of your mouth. And first impression is everything. However, if you're unable to, afford a business shoot, I'd advise that, you do it by yourself. And three very important things to also note, like while you're doing that, is that your face should, that as opposed to this picture that we have here, that is a square, LinkedIn is a circle. So your face should fill roughly the circular frame. And then it should be bright. You should not have a dark picture. And then you should smile with your eyes or mouth. So you should not have a big smile, but you should look, approachable when people see your photos. The second thing is that your banner. So the people, you would see that on many people's LinkedIn, they don't have a banner, it's just blank, and it should not be so. So your banner is basically an avenue to just summarize all that you are. After seeing your picture, your banner says what you do. Like, it should contain your niche. And if it's not your niche, because what I have on my own LinkedIn is something I said during International Women's Day. It can be your niche, it can be what you believe in, it can be a value proposition, it can be anything, it can be an inspirational word. It just gives people, an inkling into who you are. Next slide. Headlines. Yes. So headlines are very, 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 very important. I will be going into that in subsequent slides, but it's a single line that explicitly just states the problem you're trying to solve or your core area of expertise. So you can see in the picture beneath, my headline is Communications and Marketing Manager, Corporate Communication, Stakeholder Engagement, and Data-Driven Storytelling. So like I said, this just explicitly highlights the problem that I solve and my core area of expertise. So please go back. There's an open to work settings. If you look around, if you play around your LinkedIn, you will see it. I would also be sharing this document after the meeting so that you can make reference to it while you're working or optimizing your LinkedIn. There's an open to work settings if you look around your settings, but I have it on my profile, but it's not visible. It's only visible to recruiters. So anybody who has signed up on LinkedIn to look for talent will see that banner on my picture, but the regular users, the regular professionals will not see it. So it's very important that you put this up. And also why I highlighted this is because people make the mistake of showing it on their profile. So you think that you set it up, but you set it up in a way that everybody can see. And this will be an issue if you're currently employed. So make sure that if you're employed, or you don't want, or you just want to target recruiters alone, make sure that you do this, you do these settings well. Next slide. Okay, so the search engine optimized framework. So at the beginning of the year, in February of 2026, LinkedIn, we're fast moving to an AI world, an artificial intelligence world. So LinkedIn started using artificial intelligence to, categorize your profile. So this is also important. Why you should consider this is that when you use the correct, semantic structure, it makes your profile invisible, like using the makes your remain visible, sorry, in search results. So I'll show you an example in the subsequent slides, but just know that, there's a structure based on, the artificial intelligence that LinkedIn set in place. There's a structure that works. There's a framework that works to, present your niche, and I'll be showing that in the subsequent slide. Next, please. So yes, you see some people, how I showed you my headline. You see some people just have, their current work position. Oh, I'm an accountant at Deloitte, I'm this, and that doesn't really work, and it doesn't really put you on top when people look up, when recruiters look for, oh, I'm looking for a brand manager. If you search you're looking for a brand manager, right, your name will come out regardless, but it will probably be at the bottom of the list. People who use this framework in the larger box are the ones that will stand out to people who search for jobs or professionals. So it's bad to just say that you're brand manager at Gaviscon Nigeria. You should actually put it in this framework. So you should have you know a core role. You should have put an adjective that just explains what you do. Brand manager, you're a good driven brand manager, you're a dynamic brand manager, a professional brand manager. Just put it out and make it nice depending on whatever you want to use. You should also have a niche. If you have a product, you're pushing a product, it should be there. If you have a niche, like I said, communications management, stakeholder management, it should also be there. Finally, you should also make sure that you include your value hook. So your value hook shows the results. Remember earlier in the presentation I'd mentioned that results are very important. People want to see what you have achieved, because not everybody can send you a message and ask you for your CV, or not everybody can have a conversation with you. So they want to see, what you have achieved, right? And that's where this comes in. You have to put your value hook, and the value hook I have here is, driving fast acting relief to 1 million plus customers. So essentially, this is the LinkedIn optimized headline that works. So if you have your LinkedIn, headline this way, there's no way a recruiter searches for professionals in your field that you will not pop up, right? You would be one of the first five, one of the first 10 to pop up, and then they check your profile and see. They would obviously check your profile and see, you know, reach out to you. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the about section is something that I believe everybody should have on their LinkedIn. So it's basically a bio. You would notice that at the beginning of my presentation, Dami, mentioned a couple of things about me. I believe that everybody, whether you're a professional 6 years into, or whether you're just starting, you're an undergraduate, you're just starting, or it's 1 2 years, you should have a core story. You should have, and that core story is what stays with you. That core story is what you say when you are ever interviewed. In an interview, they ask you, oh, talk about yourself, tell us about yourself. This story is what is what people want to hear, and everybody needs to have a core story, right? Because it's very, very important for your profession. And if you have a compelling story highlighting everything that is important in your career, if you have a very important story on your LinkedIn, it brings you into the room even before you're there, right? It brings you into the mind of consideration for the recruiter. So the structure, I put it in three parts. You must describe with a strong sentence who you help and the primary outcome you deliver in your career. Again, don't forget, if you're not a professional, right? If you're an undergraduate, if you're 1 2 3 years into a career, if you don't if you're not specialized yet in your career, you can still describe your aspirations. You can still say what you can do, what you're currently trying to do, that is what you're learning. If you're doing any, courses, if you have any courses in view, or if you have anything that you're considering to, do in the future, it's also very important for you to highlight this, so that, somehow, if an organization is looking up for you, they just see you as a part, you fit into the puzzle that their organization is seeking for. So it's not just left to professionals. If you don't have a niche, you're not specialized yet, you can describe your aspirations. In two short paragraphs, you describe your methodology. So your methodology is your day-to-day, what you do, right? That is your mechanics, what you do in your day-to-day to achieve, the results that has, made you big in your industry. You should also conclude by highlighting your most significant and quantified career achievements and roles that you're seeking. So I believe that, the bio by the side just gives you, an insight into what a good profile structure is, right? And then you don't have to follow this, but you can also use it as a guide. Next slide, please. Okay, so the featured section is just below your headline, right? The featured section gives, you the ability to show your work. So if you have a portfolio, you put it there. If you have your project that you did in school, you have it published somewhere on a landing page, you put it there. If you worked on any campaign, you worked on anything, that became mainstream, that people are talking about, right? You can put it there. Even if, say you worked on a campaign, say that you worked on a Chicken Republic campaign, right? And people are talking about it, on Twitter. You can take screenshots of those tweets and put it in a drive, and then label it, make it accessible to everybody who views the link. And you can also put it here. This is just your proof shelf. This is where you show people what you have done. It's like an evidence of everything that you claim to be. So it can be in video, format, it can be in image, it can be a document, it can be text. So you just I've added an image here so that you know where it is once you want to do it. So once you go to your LinkedIn, it's just below your headline. You can see the pencil button just beside the plus button. So that's how you edit and add whatever you want to add. Next slide, please. Okay, so experience strategy. So one thing that people don't do, right, is they just slap on their job titles. Oh, I was this thing at this thing. I think everybody understands what I'm talking about. So there is an experience bar on your LinkedIn. People just put, oh, content strategy lead, extreme ideas, and they move on. It's very important for you to highlight what was done, right, in your role. It's very important for you to highlight what you have done in your role. I currently don't have that, on my LinkedIn, but you can do it. You can do it and make it short, fun. You just put a brief description, on that experience slide. And it's also very, important for you to just spell this out, right? Next slide. Okay, so LinkedIn prioritizes topical authority. So that means that aside, everything that you do to optimize your LinkedIn, which is important, you should also be in conversations. Being in conversations, expands your reach. Being in conversations helps you, connect with like minds. It helps you connect with people in your industry, because once people see that you're talking about things that, they can relate to, they follow you, right? And following you, once you get, once you not follow, they connect with you. Sorry, that's the wrong word. They connect with you, and then you have, an audience. People will share your post if they think that they're relatable. You get visibility, and that's how you become a topical leader. That's how you become a thought leader in the industry. So it's very important for you to utilize, you know, daily interactions and utilize posting comments on LinkedIn. So there are two things to note, or three things to note. The first is that your activity, what you post, must align with your professional niche. So um if you're I'm sorry, I'm just going to use what I can relate to. If you're in advertising, you should speak on advertising, right? You should not, and even if you want to speak about something else, say you want to speak about tech, you must, when you speak about tech, you must, at the before the end of your post, relate it back to advertising, how it, you cannot have you can't say three, you can't talk about three different things, as a thought leader, because then people will be confused because people don't know, or if you were going to be considered for something, people can't pinpoint and say that this is exactly what you're good at. So you must align with your professional niche. Whatever you are speaking about has to be what is on your um profile, if you intend to stay professional. So don't switch to generic topics. Make sure that you stay within your industry and just, speak on it. So the high performance formats for posting. So your text should be within 150 to 300 characters. People don't read long form content these days. That's one thing I've noticed. So you should try to make it as short as possible, right? And even if this doesn't work, I usually would advise you to do PDF and image carousel. So you can put your ideas in pictures, right? You can put them in pictures and just keep it at 6 to 10 slides just to communicate what you have to say. And the biggest form of content that people um people engage in these days are videos. So people would stop at a video, people would check a video. So if you have the time, you have the resources, you can make videos as well. Keep it at 2 minutes and make sure that there's a subtitle, because um this generation, like I said, they don't stay for long, form content. But you can keep everything that you want to say within 2 minutes, and you can keep it, subtitled, because one thing that people will do is, if they're in a noisy place, they're able to, consume content like a video content that has subtitle. So that's one thing that gives you the edge, because even if they want to see it and say, okay, I'm in a noisy place, let me just archive this, I'll look at it later, sometimes people forget. Do you understand? So but if you keep, it with subtitles, they're able to consume the video or the content in the moments that they see it, because it's subtitled and they can just read. So there's a content formula that works. So 30% expertise, 30% professional experience, your day to day, 20% insight, something that you read online, something that you think will work in the industry, and 20% perspective, what your ideas and opinions are on the topics. So if you mix these four elements, you would maintain authority while remaining relatable and human. I hope I have not, I hope, am I clear? Does anybody understand what I've spoken about in this slide? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, I've got into Damian, Ozioma. Okay, Abbas. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Next slide. Okay, so we have done the do's for engaging in content on LinkedIn. Now we have the don'ts. So as much as we like, right? You can't just You can't just do a great post, congratulations, blah, 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 on people's posts. You have to engage. Even if you're not the poster, you can repost, you can reshare, but you have to engage. And if it's, usually people who, topical leaders who post on LinkedIn, you know they have prompts at the end of their post, so they ask people after they posted what they want to say. They also ask people for their opinion just to maintain engagement. You cannot just say, oh, you cannot just put a one liner. You can, but it doesn't position you in the way that you want to look in the industry, especially if you've taken the time out to optimize your LinkedIn. So you must make sure that whatever comments that you're putting, it's it's relevant, it has real value, and then people can read it and be like, oh, this is a very smart person, or this is a very knowledgeable person. So make sure that when you're engaging, you're fully engaging. Also, what a lot of people do is that a lot of people slap AI content AI content on LinkedIn. When they're posting, they have AI content. And you would not to say that you cannot do that, but people will get tired of you. People will get tired of you fast. I'll say that because people want, there's conversations that, oh, LinkedIn is very serious, or LinkedIn is, makes you feel like, oh, you don't have your head in the right space and all of that. But there's people who still bring the fun, to the app. So this kind of people, I know that is unbelievable, but you can post on LinkedIn with pidgin. You can post on LinkedIn with other languages as it applies. You can post on LinkedIn with slangs, right? You can jump on trends. You can trend jack and do a post on LinkedIn. It's possible as long as you're still speaking in your area of expertise. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. That's how you remain relatable and human. It also helps you, include real world speak, personal experiences, and your distinct professional voice. So, yes, there's people who want to, speak the entire dictionary. But if you feel like, oh, this poster I'm putting out, if I slap pigeon on it, it's going to make sense. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. If you feel like, oh, if I add one Yoruba line, I feel like people will understand what I'm saying, you can absolutely do that. Also, because it's a social, regardless of the intention, what it was intended to do, it's still a social media app. And the way that people stay connected to you is when they feel like you're relatable, and when they feel like, oh, this person, influences me in a way in my career. So don't sweat it. Make sure that you stay professional, but still, you know you're still lighthearted, and you still bring the fun to it. Next slide. Okay. Oh, we're almost at the end. Yeah, so noteworthy things, noteworthy profile additions. I'm not going to expatiate on this because this is like the most basic things in setting up your LinkedIn account. Your educational background must be there. So I see people a lot of times include their secondary school education. It is not necessary, because you cannot be in the university. You cannot have gone to the university and graduated if you did not go to primary or secondary school. So please leave out your secondary school away. Leave it out of your LinkedIn, right? And leave your university degree. Your university, include your degrees, and your study fields, right? This is just to boost algorithm relevance. So please, your educational background is if starts from your university upwards. So your university degree, your bachelor's degree, if you have your ND and HND degrees, if you have a postgraduate degree, you can include that. If you have a master's, a PhD, you can include that. Also, I don't think that many people use this, but I really love this. Is like my favorite this is my favorite feature. My favorite feature on LinkedIn. So there is something called Easy Apply, right? And on LinkedIn, you have the opportunity to upload your resume. Upload your resume back end behind the scenes. You upload it, and then you see some tags. You see some tags, some job. When you see some jobs, you see there's a blue, just a blue square that says Easy Apply. Oh, I absolutely love to see, job postings like that, because it's just one tap. Once you tap once, it sends your resume to the recruiter. I love it so much. And I'm not even going to lie, those are the only jobs I apply for, actually. Jobs that, have easy apply features. So I just one tap, just send my resume across, and then we're good. Once I have to, leave LinkedIn and go to a third party app to, upload a cover letter, I'm just so out of it. So this is, you need to keep your resume uploaded, and keep it updated as well, to instantly apply for high value job openings matching your credentials. Now, not many Nigerian employers use, easy apply. They usually, typically, what I've noticed with Nigerian employers is that they would rather, just send you a personal message. So they send you a personal message to speak to you and also let you know what the salary expectations are, and then they proceed to invite you to interview. So easy apply, usually foreign, employers utilize this more. So you should also turn on like specific job alerts, just to ensure that when a vacancy is published in your industry, you're the first person to see it. If you have this turned on, not only would you receive, push notifications on your phone, LinkedIn will also send you email notifications if you have that settings on. So you just know, usually once an employer, if your LinkedIn is optimized, in 1-2 days, when an employer posts, a job opening in your industry, if it matches, because LinkedIn, again, like I said, it's back end AI. They already see you have the words, they see, they would even tell you, oh, you're 5 times more fit for this role, apply. So yes, that's the benefit of having an optimized LinkedIn. Also, licenses and certifications. So you know if you did an online course, if you did, something, if you learned something, there's also a space for you to also include this here. You can also include extracurricular activities, what you do outside. If you're volunteering somewhere, you can also include this there. So skills and endorsements. So for this, you would need people. Now, this is one of the aspects of LinkedIn where you need people. So you can, there's a just below licenses and certifications, I guess, there's a place where you have skills and endorsements. So you can list out the skills, that you have. You can say, oh, you can list it out and say stakeholder management. I'm good at this. Microsoft Office tools, I'm good at this. And then you need to invite people in your network. It can be people in your network, it can be, colleagues that you've worked with in the past. You invite them, and then they will endorse you. They will endorse you, and it just gives you, it gives you some sort of backing. It gives you some sort of backing. People can see that, oh, this person is, you know, the more endorsements you get from people on those skills, the more confidence, somebody who is viewing your profile has in your accomplishments or what you can do. Yeah, so this slide, I think, wraps up my presentation. Yes, thank you, everyone. Let me check the chats. Okay, like I promised, I was going to turn on my video. Somebody said, please, I join a little. Okay. Dami will share. Um, Dami will share the recording and this document with you after the presentation. Does anybody have questions for me? Hello, Akinwande. Let's hear you.
Good evening. Thank you for this LinkedIn. We like call it LinkedIn masterclass. Or thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So, of recent, I started taking LinkedIn very serious. I think okay, this
As you
June,
should.
I saw. As you should. So I saw some improvement. There was a time. I think last 3 months, I took LinkedIn serious. Well, it got to a point I felt like I relented. So well, I know that LinkedIn is not easy. You engage and stuff like that. So I came across a post, I think on LinkedIn. So the person was saying, like, I think he was carrying out research on posting time, like posting from Monday to Saturday keeps your like content on LinkedIn. So she was suggesting that one like that the outcome of research was 1 to 2 times, like the best time to post in a week is like once or twice. So I wanted to confirm if, like, with your experience, like, what, like, can we consider what she's saying as valid, or it's just in our opinion? I don't know, like, I'm just seeking for advice. And
So
also secondly,
typically,
typically
typically
people can have
I
you can
can hear
have I
myself. I
can
don't know
hear
why.
myself, I don't know why.
Can you
Can
mute
you
your
mute your
Okay, thank you very much. So typically, people would, like I said, this is a space for people to share opinions. This is a place to, just share your ideas, right? So people can say that, oh, the best times to post are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays at so 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 and so time, right? And that's just based on a personal opinion. That's just based on a personal perspective, right? Except LinkedIn puts up, an official statement and says that, oh, these windows are the best times to post. And I don't think that that will work, because if they share that formula and say that this is what works, right? What will happen is that there's going to be a very big influx of people, everybody trying to post at that time, and it's just going to be chaotic, right? Because many people will now want to, everybody on LinkedIn will now want to post at that time. And what will happen is that there's just going to be an overload. People are going to miss posts. People are going to people are not even going to see some post at all. People are just going to It's just going to be crazy. So if you saw a post like that, it's just personal opinions. It has nothing to do with LinkedIn. If you see it, you can try it. Maybe it's in somebody in your industry. You can try it and see if it works for you. Did I
Okay,
answer your
thank you very
question?
much. Answer your question. Yes, very much. Please, I have two more before I.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
no
Okay.
problem.
So no problem. The second and the third one is I think of recent I discovered that on LinkedIn, if you want to make most out of LinkedIn, you need LinkedIn Premium. I know with classes that we have attending, nobody's talking about premium. So I don't know if there's a way to get affordable premium.
Okay, so we're all in this economy, right? And LinkedIn Premium is just the brand trying to make money. You can utilize LinkedIn to the max without premium. You absolutely do not need premium. Take it from me, except you're a recruiter. So I feel like recruiters need, you know, premium. Um, recruiters need premium more, or if you're a thought leader, you're the CEO of somewhere, right? You need, because there are benefits highlighted that are useful for you. However, if you have the means and you want to pay for premium, that's fine as well, but you don't need it. It's not going to stop you from finding a job. The only thing that is, significant, that could, maybe develop a, FOMO in you, is that, they have, you know people who viewed your profile. And LinkedIn goes as far as putting, if you, especially if you're looking for a job, it will say a recruiter in so 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 and so industry. It knows that you're looking for a job in FMCG. It will say a recruiter in FMCG viewed your profile. Tap to subscribe to LinkedIn Premium. It's all gimmicks. It's all a, ploy to make sure that subscribe. But if you can't, it's not necessary. If you optimize your LinkedIn well, you will still be found by the right people without LinkedIn Premium. But if you can pay for it, I think it's about 12,800 a month, then you can pay for it. Is Akiwande here?
Yeah, I think network dropped in.
Okay, okay. Random share, you have your hand raised.
All right. I have two questions. First
Okay,
question is about like pictures you use for your LinkedIn. I've heard
okay,
like you should use professional pictures. I've heard use whatever pictures. I want to know what you think about it. Number one.
okay.
Number two, I've also heard about LinkedIn learning and how on LinkedIn you can learn stuff and
Yeah,
the certificates you get from LinkedIn. I want to
yes.
know if there's any value in it because
Oh,
they are
yes.
not affordable, but is there any real life value in doing
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think there was one time during COVID 2020 where they opened it up, and then people did free courses. I'd done one on growth marketing. So yes, it's definitely important, right? If you're able to get a certification, is something, it's tangible. People would, acknowledge it. Do you understand? Because it's a basically a curriculum put together by actual professionals, right? So it's tangible. If you can pay for it, yes, you should pay for it. To answer your first question, I'd mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that I believe that everybody should invest in a professional business shoot for not even for LinkedIn alone, just have like a professional, because like I said, this world is visual first. People want to see you even before they hear what you have to say. So if you have a professional photo, if you're in a company and they want to put out, a credential, or they want to put people first, you have a picture handy, a presentable picture that they can use. So but if you can't afford a business shoot, you can shoot something nice in your house. You just find the white background, you stand in front of it, make sure that the lighting is great, and then you take a picture. You can even, AI does a lot of things these days. You can I'm not encouraging the use of AI photos on LinkedIn, but people use it and get away with it. But you can't do that in the meantime before you do a business shoot, a business profile shoot. Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
I didn't know it was my network. Oh, please, I
Oh,
couldn't hear all the thing.
welcome back. What was the last
Okay.
thing you heard me say?
I think when I asked the question, like, immediately I asked the question, everything just went off. I couldn't hear your response.
Okay. Your question was what again? Please remind me.
'Cause I said regard premium. I said there are some people that do like
Oh
view my
yes.
LinkedIn profile.
Yes, so I said that, LinkedIn Premium, if you have an optimized LinkedIn page, right, you would get the benefits of being on LinkedIn. You will have recruiters find you if your LinkedIn is optimized, right? LinkedIn Premium, I believe, will only work based on the amount, will only work for recruiters. Those are the only people who can use, you know, the paid plan to the max, because it will actually, apart from pushing talent, will also help them with a bunch of other things, right? CEOs can also use it, thought leaders can also use it, influencers can also use it, just to get an idea into who is trying to reach them. Because before anybody reaches you on LinkedIn, they will first look at your profile. I also mentioned a gimmick that, LinkedIn employs. So when they know that you're looking for a job, they tell you that, oh, say you're looking for a job in FMCG, they'll say, oh, a recruiter in FMCG viewed your profile. So that pushes you to want to know who that is, right? It's a gimmick. It's just a ploy to make you, you know, subscribe. But if you can't pay for it, like I mentioned, I think it's about 12,800 a month. If you can't pay for it, you will still get the max out of LinkedIn by optimizing your profile.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
So the
I
third
thought
one
you had
is
one more question.
hashtag. Hashtag. Thank you.
What did you say?
I said the third one is use of hashtag. Is it important? Like, is it important when pushing out content on LinkedIn?
Well, use of hashtags. Yes, if one thing that hashtag does is that it connects, posts together. If there's a topic, say something is in trend, right? It just connects that, it keeps that trail of people who have posted together. So if you're jumping on something, say something coming to my head now is NSAS. If you're making a post on NSAS, you can put the hashtag, because anybody who wants to see what professionals have to say about the movement will search the hashtag, or just even search, will search the name, and then it will just pop out everybody who has that in their posts. So yeah, necessary when you need it. Otherwise, if you're making regular posts, talking about your experience, I don't think it is.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Tyrell, do you want to go?
Thank you very much.
You're
Firstly, I would
welcome.
like to appreciate you for this session.
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Dami. Really appreciate, and thank you, Fadera too. So, as we were talking, yeah, as we were just making some corrections, I already opened my LinkedIn and I was seeing the mistakes, and I was correcting it immediately. And I was so
Mhm.
fortunate that even this class, because I just started taking LinkedIn serious. Like, okay, that we can actually post on LinkedIn, because I mostly post on Facebook. I write, but I mostly post on Facebook, and I've been so dull. Like, I don't even know what to write again because it's not really my core. But marketing has been like a core for me. Like, I love marketing. Anything marketing, you just find me there. So, and I said, okay, let me just start posting on LinkedIn. I think I posted last week. Yes, it was my first post. And
Mhm.
I already have the one that I'm going to post again. But I
Well
was not
done.
looking at LinkedIn. I got I got stuck somehow because I was seeing all the seriousness and everything. So what is going on here? So when you now told me now that you can actually, because me, I don't like when something is like too serious, too I don't know. I just like to douse and everything like that. Like let it be playful a bit. So I feel like I can also do that. And I'm just grateful for this class,
Yeah,
and it
you
came at the
can you
right
can
time for
absolutely
me.
do that. You can absolutely. I'm by nature I am a non-conformist, right? And I haven't, cause I offer like employability solutions outside my 9 to 5. I haven't seen, and I actively look out because I do like optimization. So all this I've spoken to everybody about. I charge for it. I charge for it on a day to day, and I charge a sum. Do you understand? So that's why it's very important for everybody to, just take this document and apply it, right? Because people are paying for it every day. So I haven't, because I do this, I stay on top of news, right? And I haven't seen LinkedIn say that, oh, you must not say, or you must not, do you understand? It's just that there's just the idea that we have to be performative to be serious, but you necessarily don't have to. You would even be shocked if you're just yourself. People like people who are authentic, right? And that's why a lot of people shy away from LinkedIn, because they're like, oh, it's too much serious talk and that's not me. But you can, it's also a part of carving a niche for yourself if you're apart. Do you understand? If you're separated. So feel free to be yourself and just post. And just make sure that in whatever you're doing, you're professional. Very, very professional. But do not lose like your flair. Don't lose your difference. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Precious.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Thank you
evening. My name is
so
Fadere
very.
Rao. Fade for
Okay, good
short.
evening,
Good
Fazirera. Thank
evening.
you for the session. I really, really
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
it and
Oh,
got
I'm
so much
glad.
value. Okay, I'm on this session as a Pratt student, and I
Okay.
am very interested in building a career in strategy. And
Okay.
I started using LinkedIn late last year, and I was able to maintain consistency for a period. And I love to use LinkedIn as I want to use LinkedIn as a space to connect with professionals in some of the agencies that I would love to work in later on. But at the
Okay.
same time, I still would like to be able to monetize my LinkedIn right now by positioning myself, presenting myself as somebody who is capable to offer a digital skill. But
Yeah.
being somebody that doesn't have like the professional experience here yet, I have this fear that positioning myself as somebody who like can offer a digital skill, I would have to present myself professionally to build credibility with potential clients. And I have this concern that it might make, let's say, professionals in that might want to hire me, not the clients in this case, but let's say for like an internship position, think that I'm maybe being performative by like presenting myself as somebody who is already capable enough to offer a digital skill. So I've been a bit because to like I've been a bit uncertain on whether I should position myself as somebody who is still growing and learning, or somebody who is already capable enough to offer a digital skill as a professional, because I still have that desire to monetize my LinkedIn and at the same time make myself visible to professionals. So that's kind of my concern currently.
Okay. To answer your question, I genuinely think that you're overthinking it, right? I think that you're overthinking it to want to monetize your skills, right? To some extent, I believe that you've done tangible work, even if it's one, two, three. You'd see that if you go back to my a part in my slide, I'd mentioned your proof shelf. That's where you have featured works that you've done, right? You can put all the works that you've done there. Do you understand? You put all the work that you've done there. In your about section, you explain what your aspirations are, what you want to do. Whether or not you're a professional, you have an idea, right? Nobody is an island. Even with my years of experience, there's still things that I'm still learning. Do you understand? So everybody, as long as you're alive, you're still learning, right? Call yourself what it is. You're a digital, even if you're not professional, you don't have 6 years of experience. Anybody coming to your profile can see that, oh, this person is in grad school, this person has this amount of experience, this person, I've read their aspirations and this is what they can do. They know it's out there for them to see. But you call yourself what you are. You're a digital creator. That's what you are, right? In the grand scheme of things, when you eventually gain the experience, the 1, 2, 3, 10 years experience, you call yourself what you are, because that's the industry you're going to eventually play in. So forget about, whether anybody's going to apply. People will take a chance of you. In fact, if anything, I'm going to tell you one thing. You know how they say, how Ashake said is lonely at the top. It's really, really lonely at the top, because people, especially for like freelance work or stuff like that, people usually don't want to, employ people who are, more they don't want to employ people who are experienced and all of that, also because they don't want to pay that much. So they'll usually go for somebody who can deliver something similar. And that person that doesn't have that much experience want to impress, because, oh, they've gotten this huge project in their laps, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I have to put myself out there. So they'll deliver just about what a professional would deliver. So do not sell yourself short and remain in the shadows. Make sure that you put yourself out, what you've done, put out your name, what you are. You call yourself what you want to be in 10 years. I'm going to be a digital strategist. Put it out there. You're a digital strategist because you've done something, even if it's just 2 steps you've taken in that direction. You are still a digital strategist because you're better than the person who has not done anything. Do you understand? So make sure that you put yourself out. And one thing that I didn't mention is pitches, right? You should have you should reach out to people, right? You should reach out to HRs, people in HR. If you have any industry in mind, any place you want to work, you should reach out to them and just, drop a short message just telling them that, oh, this is what I do if there's any opening. Because recruiters also want to be able to reach talents at the tip of, they don't want to, go too far. So if you just leave, it would, even if they see it in that moment and there's no opening, if an opening comes up, they will just always remember that, oh, somebody was in my DM, let me reach out to this person and offer the position. It will not take too much time. You can also keep doing like reminder, you should be at the top of their mind. You can also do reminder emails, and you will get what you want. But yeah, that's about it.
Thank you so much. That really helps. Thank you.
You're welcome. Random share, is this the hand you had raised up earlier,
No,
or
no. So I have a
another
different
hand?
question.
Okay.
When you were speaking, you mentioned something about reaching out to HRs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
ask, is there a rule about it? So, for example, I am a writer, but I also think I am a strategist, and I would like to work in extreme, right? So I don't know if I should reach out to the CEO or the HR or even the strategy guy, but I really don't know what is the rule. And I hear people do it and they get ignored, and I don't know.
Well, people do it and get ignored does not mean that when you do it, you'll get ignored as well, right? In life you have to try, right? You can reach out to the CEO, you can reach out to the HR, you can reach out to the person, the head of the department that you're interested in. Make sure that you're just there. Do you understand? Make sure that you're there, right? And don't dip it. Don't think about it too much. Just
Right. Do
if it
you have
comes to
a
your
sample message or
Do I
something? Because I
have
don't know
a
what.
sample message? I would have to scroll down because I used to do it, back in the days, but now I don't do it anymore. But I can drop one with Dami and then she'll share with you. Is that fine? I don't think I have it handy right now, but I can drop it with Dami and then she'll share with you. Taiwo, is this still the
Thank
same
you.
hand you had raised up earlier? Or sorry, did you
Yes,
say
it
something?
is.
You have a new question?
No.
Okay. Okay, so is that it? Is that all the questions for me this evening? Okay.
Okay. All
Without
right.
further, thank you for having me. I hope that this session was useful for you to enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, Fadira. Please just
Thank
give
you
her a
so much.
round of applause. Thank you so much. That was an amazing session. Honestly, it was packed with value. And I know that I personally took a lot away from the session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's keep giving a round of applause. Thank you so much, Fadira. And everyone who joined today. Okay. And to everyone who joined today, thank you for showing up and for being a part of this session. Please make sure to follow Fadira on LinkedIn so you don't miss out what she puts out, because she mentioned that she does this often. So you can follow her on LinkedIn, Olobayo Fadira, if I'm correct. Yes, Fadira Olubayo. So you can follow her on LinkedIn as well. And if you joined us from the ads that we run on our social media platform, welcome. Welcome to Community X. This is one of the sessions that we put out on Community X every month, and Comtex is generally powered by Extreme Ideas, one of Nigeria's leading advertising agencies. It is a dual purpose space where we share curated job opportunities and also gain insights from our members and professionals just like you guys. I hope you took away as much as I did, and I just wanted to let you know that this is just the beginning. Thank you all so much for joining. I really hope you took quite a lot today. So that's a wrap, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you, and have a lovely evening. Goodbye. And yeah, I'm going to share the presentation on context. Yeah, for those that asked. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, before
Mm.
leaving them,
Thank you, Dami.
please.
Bye.
Hello. Please, before leaving, what's the name again? Fadira what?
Olobayo. Okay, let me send it. Let me
Okay.
Please kindly connect back, please.
send it to the chat. Olobayo Fadewere. Mhm.